Accra, by virtue of its geographical location, is prone to flooding. But aside from that, our own human activity makes these floods worse. Littering in the drains and all that make it difficult for the water that is coming from the mountains. Most of the streams that go through Accra take their source from the mountains. And so people building in waterways, littering the drains, make it difficult for the flood water that comes from the mountains to reach the sea. And so we've created a human intervention between the source of the rivers and the sea where they are headed. A lot of people have lost their lives. I'm at a loss of words to express how I feel. Many of them through the flood, and then very many of them through the fire incident that took place here as a result of the explosion that took place in the filling station located right here. Yesterday, the emergency services, including the military, the police, the fire service, were all called out to come and help. They managed to rescue quite a large number of people, but unfortunately, a large number of people lost their lives. I want to take the opportunity to commend the security services for their diligence. Throughout yesterday night, many of them have not had any sleep. We were closely monitoring what was happening. And then also to express my condolences to the several who have lost relatives and the victims of the flood. We'll have to take some measures to be able to avoid this happening in the future. And often when these measures are drastic, you have a lot of sympathy and pressure not to take those measures. But I think that the time has come, for us to remove houses out of waterways, and the public should understand that it is necessary to save everybody else. I mean, this loss of life is catastrophic, almost unprecedented. And so we'll leave the city authorities and the emergency services to continue to do their work. But we must sit and strategize to make sure that this doesn't happen again. We shouldn't continue to be like the vulture who says he would roof his house when the rain stops. Year in, year out, this continues to happen. And until we attack it scientifically and strategically, we'll continue to have these problems. My heart goes out to everybody who has lost a relative. And let me commend the security services once again and ask them to continue to assist the public. I think that is going to be very difficult for business to be normal over the course of the day, and we will understand if people are not able to come to work. We will understand what has happened, and maybe it might not be possible for many of the children to go to school.
But I think also what needs to happen is that we need to build the infrastructure. But what the president is saying is that when we build all the infrastructure and we as human beings do not change our lifestyle, then we will render all that useless. And also the public needs to understand, once we put investment into building the infrastructure, we need to make the hard decisions like plastics. We need to ban plastics. How many of us will be ready to do so? If we need to do it, we need to do it. You understand? So I think that those are the things going forward that we need to look at and make hard decisions on them.